Hello, I'm Man in the Suit, and since it's my show, we can do whatever we want, so we're just going to continue with another one of my favorite bands, and that's Linkin Park. I remember when I was about 11 years old, Hybrid Theory came out, and I think I got it on CD, and we'll talk about the album, that particular album, another day, but today I want to talk about Meteora, because it's their 20th anniversary. It came out in 2003, and it featured a bunch of cool tracks, really good tracks, but mainly I think most people know Numb, which I do not rate at all. I don't know, fight me. We will look at Hit the Floor today, which is one of my favorite songs off that album, and I don't know, we're just gonna start, I don't care. It starts off with this line, this riff that is throughout, with a bunch of synths and sounds left and right, which is really cool. I really like the sounds. The stereo sort of arrangement, when in particular comes to electronic sounds, really adds something to the track or mix or whatever you want. And Meteora in particular is really well mixed, I think. It's just one of those albums where I remember I thought like, oh yeah, but this sounds really good. I couldn't articulate why, but now I know, obviously. Right, so as I mentioned, the guitar plays pretty much the same riff throughout, except for the bridge part. And at the beginning, it is a radio telephone sort of filter on it. The way you do the filter is you cut off the highs and the lows, and you just get the middle, and it gives it this distinct telephony sort of sound. You could do this with an EQ pedal or in post. Bass comes in, same line. While, you know, some might say, oh yeah, but it's just the same thing over and over. I don't care. It's really good. It's simple, but it's really good. It goes like this. So the beginning part, no EQ, no nothing. We'll just take it slow. And the little sounds in the back in the stereo image, and then the bass comes in. And then it hits. So the main riff, if you want to call it that, is the same, except it has this 8th and 7th fret in between where the space was. So here, the 8th and 7th fret come in. And then it comes in. And then the 8th and the 7th fret.
There are just too many times.
Some purists might look at this mix and say, oh wow, it's so limited, it's so squashed. Like, if it sounds good, it sounds good, I don't care. The guitar sounds massive. This is kind of due to the Mesa Boogie PRS craze of new metal back then. Incidentally, I am on my Mesa, but my PRS is at home because, you know, reasons. Let's take a listen again to the sound of the guitars and the whole vibe and mix. You can still hear the kick, the snare. You can hear a tiny bit of reverb cutting through everything. And then right before the vocals come in, the synth line kind of comes creeping back up.
There are just too many times that people have tried to look inside of me, wondering what I think
Still
of
the
you
same
and I protect
riff,
you out of
EQ.
courtesy. Too many times that I've held on when I needed to push away, afraid to say what was on my mind, afraid to say what I need to say.
Probably partly due to the EQ is just to make space for the vocals, but it really sounds so cool. Like it would have been boring if it was just the same throughout, but this kind of breaks it up just a tiny bit, because when it comes full range with the bass and everything, it just hits really hard. I remember listening to Eminem a couple of years before this album, and the same sort of vocal rap mixing principle comes in. So you have a certain line and then you double certain parts of it, like the end or whatever. They do this here as well, but they also add like tiny stuttering effects, a bit of chorus, a bit of probably flange and phase. It breaks up really nicely. Obviously, you probably know this, but Mike did the rapping part and Chester did the screamy stuff. So all the verses and choruses and so on are really separated. They also have this sort of heavy, mellow side. So the mix can still be really pumping, but the arrangement itself will give it the sort of perceived dynamic.
There are just too many times that people have tried to look inside of me,
And then it
wondering
doubles.
what I think of you and I protect you out of courtesy. Too many times that I've held on when I needed to push away, afraid to say what was on my mind, afraid
Stuttering.
to say what I need to say. Too many things that you said about me when I'm
Bass.
not around. You think having the upper hand means you gotta keep putting me down, but I've had too many standoffs with you. It's about as much as I can stand, so I'm waiting until the upper hand is mine. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not. Watch it drop, making your heart stop just before you hit the floor. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not. Missed your shot, making your heart stop. You think you won, and then it's all gone.
Woo! I got goosebumps. You can't see it, but when Chester comes in with the screamy, oh, so good, so good. I don't know. We could nerd about the not the arrangement, but the mix all we want. But when Chester screams, you can hear the reverb trail, which still adds something, especially making your heart stop, and then you like hear the tail end of it.
1 minute you're on top, next you're not. Watch it drop, making your heart stop just before you hit the floor.
But there's probably a certain pre-delay, so it's clean, and then it comes after on the off phrase.
Stand, so I'm waiting until the upper hand is mine. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not. Watch it drop, making your heart stop just before you hit the floor. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not. Missed your shot, making your heart stop. You think you won,
And then Mike does the response. So the call is Chester, the response is Mike. You hit the floor, da 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 da, missed your shot, da, da, right? And then it's all gone. And it kind of trails into the next verse. And when it's all gone, on the next part, it leads into the bridge. And it is the bridge, in fact. And there's harmony.
so many people like me put so much trust in all your lies, so concerned with what you think to just say what we feel inside. So many people like me walk on eggshells all day long. All I know is all I want is to feel like I'm not stepped
Listen
on.
to
There
the
are so
guitar.
many things you say that make me feel you cross the line. What goes up will surely fall, and I'm counting down the time, cause I've had so many standoffs with you. It's about as much as I can stand, so I'm waiting until the upper hand is mine. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not. Watch it drop, making your heart stop just before you hit the floor. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not. Missed your shot, making your heart stop. You think you won, and then it's all gone. And then it's all gone. And then it's all gone.
The two sets of vocals, so good.
Now it's all gone. I know I'll never trust a single thing you say
again
you knew your lies would divide us, but you lied anyway. And all the lies have got you floating up above us all. But what goes up has got to fall. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not, watch you drop, making your heart stop just before you hit the floor. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not, missed your shot, making your heart stop. You think you won, and then it's all gone.
You still hear the same sort of synth line melody in the heavy part. It has that same note. I don't know, it's higher. I also really like the two sets of vocals, a slight harmony. I think he did it in the previous one. But also, it is important to mention the scratching effect in the verses, especially in the EQ'd part.
And you say you knew your lies would divide us, but you lied anyway. And all the lies
It's
have got
still
you
in rhythm.
floating up above us all. But what goes up is
Because the guitar plays and the scratching goes. It's still in the same sort of groove, and it just complements each other. I haven't mentioned yet, but it is noticeable, and it is still to note that the entire arrangement, so the bass guitar and the vocals, follow the same sort of principle of either there's a space or there isn't, or they play all together.
what goes up has got to fall. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not, watch it drop, making your heart stop just before you
Chester
hit the
goes.
floor. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not, missed your shot, making your heart stop. You think you won,
And then
it's all gone. And then it's all gone. And then it's all gone. And then it's all gone. Now it's all gone.
Man, I fucking love listening to songs from my childhood, and I don't know, I feel like I'm a boomer now, even though I'm 32, but they just kind of don't make these songs anymore. I feel like really, really cool. I don't know. Again, hopefully I've shown you something new, something interesting. If you were trying to learn the song, please let me know if I helped you in any way, if I should be more specific about what to play. And I'll see you next time.
What goes up has got to fall. 1 minute you're on top, next you're not, watch it drop, making your heart stop.